Hi, my name is Mark Hefner. I'm with the Johnston Supply Training Center, and today we're going to talk about White Rogers Premium Flame Sensor. Flame sensors are pretty straightforward devices. They detect a flame because they're an electrode, and the flame acts as a conductor. So when flame is present on your electrode or flame sensor, there's actually a small AC voltage that is sent back to the control board to show that the flame is live. And you can actually test this. The number will vary from system to system, but it's typically going to be a very small number. And we can actually show this using a meter and a propane torch. All right, I set up a little contraption here. I've got my flame sensor hooked up with a wire to one of my leads. I'm going to be holding my other lead against the ground. Mind you, I'm using a tool bench right now, so it's not the best ground in the world. But if I light my torch up here, I can go to a ground with my other lead. We can see that with no fire on it, I'm reading about 0.27 volts. 0.027 volts. And if I put that in the fire and hold it there, you'll see about 0.04, right around 46, 47. And that is the process of flame rectification. The primary thing you'll notice is that it's pretty long when compared to some other flame sensors. This is a flame sensor off of a Coleman ultra low NOx furnace. So of course, if you were to use this to replace this, it would be too long. Thankfully, one of the key characteristics about this flame sensor is that you're actually allowed to cut it. And they say to use some diagonal cutters if you're going to do that, and just make a clean cut on it. The other big advantage too is, of course, there are flame sensors out there that have varying degrees of a bend in them, and you're able to bend this thing all the way from 0 to 90 degrees to fit your application. Same thing, except then they actually provide a little sleeve for you to put over the flame sensor if you're going to make a bend on it. And they recommend you put it down against a table, against the edge of a corner of a table actually, and you can, with your hand, make a bend. And you of course want to match whatever flame sensor you're replacing for the bend and the total length. If you're going to bend it and cut it, I would recommend you make your bend first before cutting it, and then compare it to the other flame sensor, of course, for the degree of bend. They do also include a guide to help you figure out what degree bend you might need. The other thing to really watch out for though is that if you are putting a bend on the flame sensor, make sure that whatever direction the bend is will align with the flange and how it's currently installed in the system you're going to be using the flame sensor for. Cutting the flame sensor is quite simple. Just have some good diagonal cutters and make sure you measure off of your old flame sensor and make a clean. Oh, that is harder to cut than I thought it would be. Be aware. But yeah, now it's cut to a different length. I don't want to cut it too short. I plan on using this flame sensor in the future. This has been a how-to with the White Rogers Premium Flame Sensor. For this and any other needs, come check us out at the Johnston Supply Training Center, where you get real-world experience for your real-world career.